We're live now. But what I always do, I always have to go to LinkedIn to confirm that we're live, even though I know we are. Do you trust technology 110%?
No.
I don't either. Always got to check.
Especially if you got to connect everything together.
So, I think let's get this kicked off. Wait. Hold. And here we go. Okay, we are live. I dig it. All right, well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another Breakfast Run with me, your host, J.P. Warren. And sitting with me, I have Cullen Cone, the Vice President of Operations. I got this. Trust me, I've typed it out enough. I got this. Operations and A&D. And at Tri-C Resources. And I want to say good morning to you. Before you get this kicked off, I want to thank Roast and Brew Cafe for obviously they're always providing a place that we can come in and live stream, enjoy a nice pumpkin spice latte on this Monday post time change, and also it's a little sweater weather, and I always dig sweater weather. So let's see where everyone's tuning in from. I want to say again, thank you for tuning in, everyone. Hope everyone's managing the time change all right, and I think it's so funny. So you're about to have a baby.
I am,
right?
Yep.
So we're gonna get that in a little bit, but it's so funny. It's like everyone's like, there's definitely a change from like pre-having a baby to post-having a baby with time change. People are like, oh, you get that extra hour of sleep. It's like, no, you don't. Babies don't have clocks.
That's right.
You know
That's what I'm told.
Yeah, it's not like they got to get up. It's your first.
So we don't know what we're getting into.
It's exciting, man. I think it's a good time. Let's see where everyone's tuning in. Where everyone's tuning in from. If you don't mind chiming in, saying hello. Let's say I had a couple people out there. Justin Brignac. Morning, guys. Morning, Justin. You know Justin Brignac?
I do.
Jonathan Brignac. I love that guy.
I do. Yeah.
Brignac family. All right, let's see. Casey Stout. Morning, gents. Morning, Han. How you doing today? We got Ken Lavin tuning in. Morning, gentlemen, from Oklahoma. Which that actually might be one of those locations that Crew Club is going to. So Crew Club's expanding to different cities. All right, that's the plan as of right now. Obviously, there's a lot of moving pieces right now we're working on. Mm-hmm. And there was 4 cities to choose from. There was Midland, obviously, Dallas, Denver, and Oklahoma. And okay. Oklahoma is second behind that. I've never been to Oklahoma, so if it expands there, I'm excited to go there and meet some cats up there and say, Luke McDougal, Bryson, Ken, and Matt Hill, and all those cats. All right, let's see what's going on. Tuning in from Willis, Texas at OES Downhole Completion Tool Testing Facility. Nice little plug, a nice little location. I dig that.
All right, Tyler Varnado, shout out. I love Tyler.
Time out. This is my screen. You know what I mean? This is the motherboard that I'm looking at. Okay, when it goes on there,
make your font smaller.
Jordan Christman, sweater game strong. JP. Well, hey, I love sweater weather, and I love blazer season. So that's a fact, Jack. All right, let's see what's going on. Perry tuning in from the Woodlands. Tyler, good morning. Tyler, how you been, buddy? Jared, good morning. Best weather ever. It is. The best part about this is probably gonna be gone by this afternoon. Nice weather like this usually sticks around for 2.5 days, and then gets back up to 90. But hopefully that's something. Hopefully, the fin fur feather AADE F5.
Yeah.
I think the weather is going to be perfect for that, like 72 to 63.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So I'm hoping everyone checks. If you've never been to Fin Fur Feather, it's always a good time. Go check it out. I guess you can sign up at aade.com or whatever it has. And we have Ethan Etzel. Morning, guys. Ethan, the CEO of Royal Completion Tools, that little banner right here. Reach out to him, say hello. Great group of people. Ethan, thank you for continuing to sponsor this show and having belief in this show, bringing our industry together through one cup of coffee at a time. All right, we've got a couple people. Good morning. And if you see people on here that you've seen their name before, you're not connected with, and just connect with them during these times and all that stuff. Good morning from Houston, LinkedIn user. Don't know who that is, but I'm sorry about that. It's just not showing up over here. It's just showing. Thanks for the plug. John Refro, hello, Monday morning. I dig Monday mornings lately.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just dig Monday mornings lately. So, all right, before we actually do begin this, I need to poll the audience. And I was telling you about this. Mm-hmm. All right, this is something that's kind of going on, pretty impactful in my life right now, okay? We all deal with struggles and kind of what we're going on with. So last Thursday morning, I'm going out to John Dinkins, oil field cup up at Pine Forest. And I'm bringing coffee. I'm dropping coffee off, going old school, and actually bringing coffee and creamers and all that stuff. Well, the entire thing of milk spilled in my car on a Thursday morning. I don't know if anyone's had spilled milk. You probably haven't. You'll probably learn this later on in life, but once you have that baby.
Yeah.
It is the stinkiest stink out there. It is so bad it's out there. So anyway, so I tried the whole vinegar mix, and I brought it to the car wash yesterday. It still has a soft scent of ass, and it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking all the dads out there, all the moms out there, all the people out there with dairy fetishes, how do you get the smell of spoiled milk out of a car? Just if you have any tips and tricks. I figure like this is the community to ask. You ask a bunch of oil field people.
It's probably happened
before. How to make something, how to fix something. I mean, this is the community to ask. So
that's right.
Let's see where else is. Someone said Cullen Cone is my hero. Aw, I don't know who that was. His LinkedIn user. Brandon Webb. Good morning, nice tie, JP. Thanks, buddy. Got to dress it up every now and then. Come on, Han. All right. Good morning from Impulse Downhole Tools, Midland. Good morning, Adam. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. So. If anyone has any tips, I'm serious about that, about how to get the smell out of my car, please let me know. So, obviously, before we begin, we got to thank the sponsors for this show, Royal Completion Tools, and I hope everyone can hear me. 2 weeks ago, we got these, 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had these new microphones, and I really didn't know how to work with them or work through them. So I'm hoping the sound quality is a lot better, a lot better improved this go around than last time. So. But before we begin, I got to say that professional car clean, the end. Yeah, I'm going to try that. Well, I'll let you know if that works. We got Jonathan Rhodes. Good morning. Hopefully you're recovering from your trip from Napa and Tiki Island. And I think I'll be seeing you probably the week of Thanksgiving. I think the family are going to do a little trip down to Galveston. So, but before we begin, I do have to plug Royal Completion Tools. And this is the best part about having a daughter. So he's about to have a daughter. And you can actually, the best part about having kids is, number one, they're great for getting out of stuff.
Yeah.
You always blame everything on the kid. Like, I can't make your third, fourth, diaper baby shower. I got the little one sick this weekend. So
came up with a bug. Yeah.
And the second best part of that is free labor. Okay. It's free labor. So my daughter filmed this. She was the camera person filming it, and so this is the commercial for Royal Completion Tools. Check them out. Their plugs don't slip, and a great group of people over there. So here we go. To all you completion engineers, company men, and consultants out there, are you sick and tired of losing sleep over frac plugs not getting to depth, not holding pressure, or not drilling out properly? Or maybe you aren't getting the best quality and service from the bigs. Well, stop burning the midnight oil and rest at ease while using Royal frac plugs, the most reliable and efficient frac plug on the market. Start your successful completions today by getting in touch with Royal Completion Tools. You can contact them via www.royalcompletiontools.com, sales@royalcts.com, or via LinkedIn. Contact them today to check out some of the best frac plugs out there. All right, let's see what we got. Mike is on point. That's what I love hearing. Jordan sounds great. I got something for you that will get rid of the smell for good. PM or call me after the show. Absolutely. You need that help. All right. So I think we actually also might have a secret listener right now, Matt Harbison with Encore Wellheads. He said he's tuning in.
Oh, is that right?
I think we're having lunch.
Matt very well.
I know. I haven't seen that cat in a while.
me as well.
Well,
I know he's got his hands full with a bunch of kids.
Oh, he does. He does.
Yeah.
He's also hustling.
That's
As
right.
Roy Strong says, Lubin deals. Let's see one last thing. All right. Look, that's what I'm talking about. The support of this industry. Thank you for helping me get that dirty butt smell out of my car. I appreciate that, everyone. So Cullen. All right. So Cullen, why don't you give us kind of the? I had Cullen on the. So you and I known each other for a long time.
Yep.
And another kind of a cool little tie or connection, if you want to say, your uncle delivered my daughter 8 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mark Cone.
Mark Cone delivered Evelyn 8 years ago. It's not, but this wasn't one of those things like, hey, does anyone have a good doctor delivery person? No, it happened randomly. I noticed the last name. We started having kind of a conversation, and he's like, oh, my family's in oil and gas. We started talking, brought you up. I was like, that's crazy. I know that guy.
Small world.
I know, very small world. So, but anyway, so let's kind of get this going right now. And obviously, we're going to leave this open at the end if anyone has any questions or comments that they'd like to ask, Colin or myself. So, so I had him on the previous podcast, Around the Rotary, and we talked a lot about the history of Tri-C, the company you're at.
Yep.
It's a family company.
Yes,
correct?
that's right. Yeah.
How long have y'all been? Kind of give us the spiel on that for those that didn't tune in. If those that want to tune in, you can always go back and check it out.
Yeah.
Give us the spiel.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm third generation oil and gas, petroleum engineering specifically, from Texas A&M. So kind of knew, kind of knew where I was going.
All right.
Out of the womb. I was going to Texas A&M football games when I could walk, that type of thing.
So there's no other option.
There was no other option.
Okay.
I mean, they say there was, but there
really wasn't.
But I grew up. My dad, who was second generation, kind of back up a little bit. He spent some time growing up in the Middle East with my grandfather. If you remember from our previous conversations,
picture, yeah. I'll post that picture again.
Yeah, the picture. It was like 12,000 barrels a day going through a flare on a discovery
Kuwait,
well.
Right?
It was in offshore Sharjah.
Yeah. Not bad.
So that was a very, very cool experience for him. But he was the first generation Aggie petroleum engineer. So my dad was the second generation, and my dad started Tri-C back in 1987. 86, really, the end of 86. And so from 86 kind of all the way through till now, Tri-C has been around. Up until 2017, we were a conventional company, drilling wildcat wells kind of across the Texas, Louisiana, Gulf Coast. And so in 2017, we took on private equity capital.
Was that the first time in Tri-C's history that y'all took on private equity?
That's right.
Because before it was family and friends.
That's right. It was family and friends, and then a small group of family and friends investors that have kind of been with us since the end of the 80s.
80s, great.
And so, every couple of years we would change programs and change strategies, and some guys would fall out, some new guys would come in as far as the partnership
So
group.
it was still kind of a healthy little bubble of investors and all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
People you know, people you trust. Okay.
That's right. And so fast forward to today, a lot of those guys are still in our group. Our private equity group allowed us to carve out a piece of the pie for our investors that have been with us since day one. And so, yeah, it was great deal. Everything's been very friendly the whole time, and obviously we've been through some crazy things as an industry the last few years, and so we kind of reshuffled the deck with our private equity sponsor through COVID, and now we're lean and mean, as they say. We're just a 4-man team now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are just looking for acquisitions. And so we're looking basically anything that hits the market. We're looking at anywhere from $30 to $150 million is kind of our sweet spot.
That's it?
Producing, yeah, that's it, right?
That's it.
Mainly producing properties to where you can kind of come in and take on some hedges right away.
Yeah.
Hedge your volumes at these high commodity prices, and it takes a lot of the risk away.
So so it seems like y'all were wildcat until about 2017. Then y'all kind of shifted to like this. Look at that PDP.
We shifted. Well, in 2017, we actually took down an Eagleford position.
Okay.
It was a great position, but the commodity prices just went the wrong way. And so we had a lot of green acreage that was hadn't been drilled yet, and it required a lot of drilling capital to hold the leases, and that's when oil prices just tanked.
Yeah.
We get into the negative oil prices, that type of time frame.
I think everyone remembers that day.
Yeah, everybody remembers that, and so we basically, that position's gone now, and so we've kind of moved on. I said we scaled down the team.
Yep.
And so now. We're basically just using all the latest and greatest technology out there to stay lean on the headcount front, but also be very efficient on the output front.
So let's talk about that. I think technology right now, what you're seeing in technology in the oil and gas industry is an explosion, if you will. There's the use of people being comfortable using new technology and trusting. You and I just talked, we didn't trust technology, but obviously that's when you have to link stuff up. But if you're a small group, if you're a 4-person team, and you're looking at deals after deals after deals, you have to create some sort of efficiencies. You have to utilize some technology, so you're not kind of reinventing the wheel every single deal you look at. So
your workflow, you got to really nail your workflow.
So let's talk about workflow and all that stuff. So what technology are y'all that you're seeing that you're just starting to use and all that stuff to look at deals and kind of see how those play out?
Yeah, so we use a handful, and honestly, I would say it really depends on what you're trying to accomplish. So what we're doing is we're scanning basically the whole country the U.S. basically.
Oh, so you're not locked in Louisiana, Texas?
No,
anymore.
we're not.
Really? Okay.
Our private equity group really trusts us to operate wherever we're able to get plugged in, and so there's some places where some portfolio companies like we're kind of staying out of the Delaware Basin for the most part.
Why is that? Just because like everyone's kind of just salivating to get in that?
Yeah,
area?
it's just we haven't been there before, and there's a lot of people that are experts in that area. And so, and Post Oak, our backer does have a portfolio company there. Shout out Up Curve Energy. Yeah. So those guys are lean and mean out there and drilling some wells.
Guys and girls, Dina Dabowski's over there.
That's right, Dina. They got a great team. Zach. They got a great team over there. So
they run lean too.
They do run lean. Yeah. And so that's kind of their backyard. So we leave that to them, and then we're kind of looking everywhere else. Shale play, conventional. That's the great thing about the Tri-C team is that we do have a lot of conventional experience. Honestly, more conventional than unconventional when you look at the full historical background.
Scope of Tri-C.
But just recently, we've been in the Eagle Ford most recently. So
what plays? I mean, I obviously don't go in this too much if you don't want to, but like, what areas? I guess if you had to prioritize, what areas are kind of like that is? And if you don't want to talk about this, it's fine. I mean, obviously, breakfast runs are kind of like off the cuff. So if you don't want to answer something, don't answer something. We'll pretend we cut out or something like that. What areas, if you could select? I mean, your top 3 areas, if you could select that you would like to kind of dive into, get a deal out of these areas.
Obviously, I love the Eagle Ford. It's in our backyard. I love being in South Texas.
Love South Texas.
Yeah, it's kind of, I'm a big hunter fisherman, and so South Texas is kind of where I feel at home. Most recently we did have some success, kind of stepping out on the fringe of the Eagle Ford through our last venture from 2017 through 2020. We just didn't hit it right with commodity pricing timing. So we would love to get back in the Eagle Ford. I just think the Eagle Ford, and a lot of people would probably agree, they're looking at the market on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of it's already transacted out of what I would say is a sweet spot for us to get a good deal and make a good return.
Okay.
I think that it's going to come back down, but you've had some pretty heavy hitting, high multiple deals that went down in the Eagle Ford recently that have kind of jacked the price
up. That's kind of like real estate. You know what I mean? If someone builds a multi-million-dollar house a year, the taxes are going to go up. Okay.
That's exactly right. You can kind of see some of these are real estate plays to some degree, buying production and holding down these zip codes. So, but besides the Eagle Ford, we love conventional. I would love, like, East Texas has stacked pay.
Yeah.
You've got your Haynesville, which is more kind of your unconventional play, but you got Cotton Valley sands, they're stacked. You've got Wilcox sands, you've got all kinds of things. So East Texas would be cool.
Okay. All right. Last one.
Yeah. So last one.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Oklahoma.
Okay.
But more like central, kind of right outside the shale play. You got the scoop and stack in Oklahoma, but you also kind of more toward the Arklatex area, the Arkansas border. You've got a bunch of conventional sands over there too. So there's a lot of availability. It's just trying to find the right volumes of production that kind of for us put it in the sweet spot of something that's big enough for us to purchase, but still has what we call meat on the bone to try and pull some extra oil or gas off that prospect to
improve efficiencies or
that's
whatever.
right.
It's recovery.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the technology side of the conversation, because that's something that's
huge.
It is huge.
I think everybody should
go down this rabbit hole.
Okay, I'll go down the rabbit hole. So let's just look at my team right now. I'm a 4-man team. A lot of people out there are trying to learn workflows to become more efficient. So what we do on a day-to-day basis is we use data manipulation tools. Well, first of all, data sourcing tools. So we use Inverus. Shout out Inverus. Drilling info is what people used to call it. They've got some good tools within there. Q Engineering is a good kind of type curve scouting tool. So basically, we'll go in and use a tool like Inverus to source our data. They have really cool mapping tools to where you can set up your mapping to where visually you can kind of scout different areas based on what the map's showing you. So you can highlight, you can put production data up and color it by operator and then size it by gas rate. And so you can quickly look on a map over the country and decide kind of, who's your biggest gas producer,
So
kind of that type of thing.
With all this new technology coming out, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's some sort of learning curve when it comes to technology.
There is.
For example, like, building the Connection Crüe's website, I was dealing with Wix, and there was there's a learning curve to get through before I wanted to stop banging my head against the wall. I mean, are you finding, I guess, obviously with the 4-man team, your time's valuable.
That's right.
Obviously. So are you finding kind of the learning these new technologies that are out there, and kind of forecast tools that are out, whatever that is. I don't know if that's the right term.
Yeah, forecast tools. That's what we're doing. We're taking data and then using forecast tools to try and give us a projection of what we think it's going to do over the next 30 years.
Are you finding this more, the ease to, learn the technology and learn the software kind of, it's not as difficult as it was previously, or what?
That's right. So 2 things. It's not as difficult as it was previously because all these companies that are coming out with tools. For instance, the latest one I'm using is Q Engineering.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Combo Curve.
Combo Curve.
So Combo Curve, those guys
really
have
shout out to Luke
figured out. Yeah, Luke. So Luke is we share a last name.
And Dean Murphy too, man.
Yeah,
Dean's crushing it over there as well.
Those guys over at Combo Curve have it figured out. So basically, they've taken old reservoir engineering software.
Yeah.
That's been around forever, that everybody's been using, and they've spiced it up to where they've imported type curve functionality and all kinds of things that make it very user friendly, and you're able to come up with very multi-level, high density valuations on assets very fast.
So not only is it spit out good information, but it's also it's user friendly.
It's user friendly. So that kind of back to the question. A lot of the software used to not be user friendly.
Yeah.
It used to take days to learn it, and you would have people within your company at a large corporation that all they did was run this software. Whereas nowadays, for instance, our team, we're all running 5 or 6 softwares at one time, kind of back and forth to come up with one answer depending on what we're doing.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's pretty cool. So I guess my tip is, to everyone out there is, pick a software that's an up-and-comer and try and become a professional at it.
Because you mentioned before we started going live, you're like, man, I mean, if you learn the software efficient enough, I mean, that might be a situation where you could land a role somewhere.
You could land it, and people are doing that. People are literally landing roles because they're becoming proficient at a software that is up-and-coming, that's becoming more widely used.
Okay.
A combo curve type, or other. There's a bunch of them out there. If you could get very proficient at a software like that, someone will hire you
to bring that expertise
that expertise in, because the efficiency that you bring to the table is pretty incredible. I mean, these are like cradle to grave type valuation softwares where you're going in and taking raw data and coming out with a fully integrated output at the end and it takes a couple hours instead of a couple days. It takes one person to do it. So
when did you start kind of bringing these? Obviously, you've been looking at deals for some time now. So when did you start, I guess, utilizing this technology and the software that's out there for your daily operations?
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say, I came from a big, large company out of school, spent a couple years there offshore. There was Energy 21, rest in peace. So I came over to Tri-C in 2015, and they were pretty low on the totem pole in technology.
Yep.
They had a reservoir software, and so I learned how to use that. But it wasn't really until we started our private equity partnership in about 2017 when we got into the heavy technology.
That's still kind of, I still think that's relatively before a lot of companies started.
Probably so, yeah, it probably was. And at that point in time, it was a lot of just raw data. So we were sourcing the data, that technology was there.
Yep.
But as far as creating a workflow and coming out with a valuation and, kind of advanced science, I would say, that wasn't quite available yet. At least it was user-friendly. And so what's really changed is over the last 3 years, that technology has really ramped up.
Yeah.
And so now you're seeing a lot of kind of one-off companies that are coming out with their technology, and I think they're just trying to get users to use it.
Yeah.
And trying to get people to adapt it. And so you're seeing some companies that really do have the best stuff out there kind of rising to the top. And I think what's going to happen is eventually, once all these larger companies start adapting these technologies, kind of you're going to have your couple major players.
Yep.
And I would imagine that some of these larger companies are going to try and integrate a lot of these companies under one umbrella. And maybe
that's exciting too. I
it.
mean, you're seeing all this new technology. Some of it's going to work, some of it's not. Some of it's going to succeed, some of it's going to fail. But the thing is, we're not going to improve as an industry unless we fail.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially on the technology side of things.
That's right.
It's kind of an exciting arena for the oil and gas tech space.
It really is. It's a fresh market.
Yeah.
The users are out there because what you're doing is you're making the company headcount more efficient. So honestly, like one of my job roles at Tri-C is reservoir engineering. We're small, so I kind of wear a bunch of hats, but just reservoir engineering, for instance. And you could say the same for operations completions. We're having technology out there that you could argue it's not going to totally replace us, but it does replace a little bit of the human aspect to it and how we come to conclusions and valuations. I still think you have to be out there to punch in the right information.
Yeah.
Because a model is always going to be
Just
call
a
it
model.
garbage in, garbage out. So if you have bad inputs, your outputs are going to be bad. And so
And you can't base your decision off of that. You have to be there.
yeah,
to feel
you
it.
got to QC it, and there's still some scrubbing that has to be done. But at the end of the day, the technology is pretty scary. It's replacing a lot of what we used to do, taking human error out of the equation.
So there's, I like how you point yourself, human error out of the equation.
And I'm
human
pointing
error,
myself when I say that.
So wait, so real quick. So I mean, with all this technology coming out, all these new things, it's difficult to see people, in office and all that stuff. What would be the best way for, I guess, a startup or a new company that has a technology that they believe in?
Yeah.
And obviously, time is valuable, and obviously, it's very difficult to get in front of people. So how would people approach you or an operator or something like that with technology that could potentially improve, whether they're sourcing deals, whether this and that? Like, what bells and whistles, or what, I guess, aspect of the project they need to focus on in equipment? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Anything that makes our job easier.
Okay.
I think as a whole, we used to be very compartmentalized as far as what we did on a daily basis. And I feel like now everybody's doing a lot more.
We've had to do a lot more.
We've had to do a lot more. Head counts are down, but outputs are up. And so people have been working from home for months at a time. And, thankfully people are back. But what I'm saying is people have had to be more efficient.
Yes.
So I think if your tool is able to make my job more efficient, then I definitely want to hear about it. And so I think at the end of the day, just figure out who your audience is, because a lot of tools are really great and they might be really efficient at giving me an answer for this specific reason. But, I do a lot of different things on a daily basis. So maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but just figure out the right audience and go show them, tell them why it's going to save their time.
Communicate the value of it.
Communicate the value. And a lot of times time is the most valuable thing. If you can save somebody cost or save somebody, make somebody a better completion because you're able to tell them to complete their well here and not here, that type of thing. That's very valuable. But a lot of times people spend energy reaching out to the wrong person. So, kind of dial in who your audience is.
And often it's a LinkedIn message with a PDF attachment. It's not really genuine.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
So, okay, so let's talk about this. So last time we talked, oil, I think, was at 42 or something like that, 47.
It was, yeah.
Something like that. We're sitting here, it's 83, okay?
Yeah, we doubled it.
Things are going. So how is that changing, I guess, in your world when you're looking at deals and kind of, what are you feeling?
So what's interesting is now, we're willing to pay strip pricing, which is paying up for all this production. We're paying kind of what you're seeing, as oil price on a daily basis. So that's totally different than before.
Yeah.
Before, people were hoping that we would pay more than strip pricing to try and lock down assets. So that's changed. What we're doing now is we're going to pay up. We're going to give you the value, that near term, all that high price oil. We're going to give you that value, and then we're going to turn around and hedge it right away, so that now we can lock in high prices as well and help us kind of lock in our returns to some degree, because if you look back, we just paid you more money for your asset. So I think what it's doing now is it's really spurring the A&D market. It's getting sellers that weren't sellers at 43 because they didn't want to get rid of their assets.
And now they're seeing opportunity.
And now they're seeing opportunity.
So it is a different environment. It's a different market. There's different
totally
conversations.
different. Yeah, it's a 180. Yeah.
Are you liking it?
I like it, especially now we've got some money to play with. We don't have an asset anymore, which stinks, but it's okay because we have kind of an open slate.
Man, honestly, there's worse situations being out there. There's some people that have just gotten, wrapped up after looking for assets for, 2.5 years.
We understand that. We're certainly fortunate to be in this position, and I just hope that we find the right deal. Like I said, we're using all these tools on a daily basis. We're efficient. We're looking at everything that's out there. So I'm hoping that the right deal comes along.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I was actually dated my now wife for a couple years before the dating apps came out. But I'm just going to go ahead and throw the dating app reference out there. It's kind of like a dating app,
Which dating
These
app?
Assets
Which dating app would that be? Would that be Bumble?
I don't know.
Bumble's
I guess it would be
wholesome.
me picking the date.
Okay.
So what would be the man picking the date? Bumble's the other way around.
Bumble's the other way. They have to say hello to you. I think whatever. There's like 500,000.
We'll go with Tinder.
We'll go with Tinder. It's old school.
It's like Tinder. So these assets come through, and we basically just pick whether or not we like them or we don't. And if we like them, we just kind of go through and go on some dates with them.
So where are you
get in VDRs and dig through data?
Where are you finding these swipe rights?
A lot of them are marketed processes. So banks come out with deals, but we're seeing is the marketed processes are heavily competitive. There's a lot of people in there.
It's like when a job posting's out there.
Yeah, they get splashed to where you're a BCC, you're a blind copy on the distribution list. So there's no telling how many people were copied on the teaser. But what's cool is that now that we know how to use all this technology that I was telling you about, we're actually going in and making blind bids. I say blind bids, unsolicited offers.
So that's going to be more proactive.
That's proactive. Yeah. So we're going into people that don't have their asset on the market, and we're calling them up or sending them a bid letter and saying, hey, we want to buy your asset. We know that we haven't talked, but here's the deal. So
I kind of like that. That's kind of like reverse selling a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of making cold calls.
It's kind of just knocking on their door with a fully blown offer and saying, hey, I
love your house. You want to sell
I love your house. You have 10 days to let us know. And a lot of times that puts pressure on them to get rid of deals, and it really kind of makes them really think about getting rid of assets, especially now at a high commodity price environment.
So where else, so you have one side where it's a BCC thing where it's a mass thing, and you have another side where you're kind of is there something, a sweet spot in the middle that could improve, y'all's, looking at deals and kind of looking at a sweet spot? What would that look like?
Probably coming to Connection Crüe events, to be honest.
Wait, say that again?
Coming to Connection Crüe events.
That wasn't even a setup thing, but seriously.
No, but seriously, honestly, what you're doing is kind of merging the two. And I promise I didn't think about giving this kind of pitch. But what you're doing is you really are merging. You're creating a space where operators, private equity folks, service companies, because honestly, I get a lot of people, service folks, that say, hey, I golfed with so-and-so last weekend and so-and-so, and they were telling me that, they're trying to high grade their assets and they're thinking about getting rid of this and you should talk to them. And honestly, I get leads like that turn into unsolicited offers.
Right.
So a lot of it's word of mouth.
So getting together in the room, having those connections on stuff does help.
It really does matter. The last couple of weeks I've gone to lunch with guys, and we end up talking, and then there's always a couple of names that are exchanged in companies, and then they'll reach out for me because I don't necessarily know the operator, but they do. And it goes back and forth, and then all of a sudden
it's all murky.
We've kind of got this. Well, no, honestly, the communication's clear and efficient.
Okay.
They just say, hey, would you be interested in Tri-C maybe looking at this? And they say yes or no, and they get back with me. And so if we keep it pretty efficient. But what I'm saying is, the word of mouth thing and the connections thing and the secondary connection, friend to friend, all that really does matter. So I think what you're doing is great.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. And that wasn't scripted in the.
No, definitely not.
But that's kind of the whole goal. Everyone's going to get something else. You know what I mean? Whether Sean Stevens, his company got wrapped up, and he's currently looking for a role. He was on the Breakfast Run last week, but he's been coming to the events and all that stuff, and kind of networking, getting his name out there. And that's the thing. You don't build the network you need tomorrow. You build that today. You don't need, networking today, tomorrow. Like you need to start it today.
Yeah.
Whether you know where that's going to go or not. So, what else is going on, kind of in your world on the looking at deals and stuff? I mean, obviously it's a grind. You're constantly looking at deals, constantly submitting this, constantly submitting that.
Right.
How are you staying motivated with this?
That's a great question. I mean, our private equity sponsor is keeping us motivated. They're excited.
Okay.
We're kind of their search team for the moment, outside of the Delaware area. But, I think that the deal flow's picked up, the A&D market.
You seeing that?
We're seeing it. And so we're looking at some pretty cool properties all over the map. And so just imagining us actually acquiring a property, an asset.
What does that look like? Are you going to be picking up some rigs?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're looking at deals with upside.
Okay.
A lot of heavy production, so we want to really buy into some cash flow.
Right.
I think is our strategy, whereas our strategy starting from 2017 through 2020 was mainly green space. We leased up some acreage, and we went to go drill our own wells to hold the position. Well, now we would probably rather go buy some production. Right. Like I said, pay up for it, get the seller comfortable to sell his asset because we're going to pay up for it, but then go out and hedge it to where we're kind of locking in cash flow.
Yeah.
At pretty decent oil price. So I think that would be the perfect asset for us. But then go out and put a rig to work maybe in the first 12 months. Drill some new wells.
So everyone out there
listening, get back in that game.
So everyone right out there listening, help him, help you, help him. I mean, if there's any ways, if any deals or anything like that you know of, you want to piece it in a better word to reach out to you. If there's any,
yeah, that's right. Cullen at TriCResources.com.
If there's any potential acquisition deals,
that's it.
That are out there, wherever it is, could be anywhere lower 48.
That's right. I mean, our bread and butter is operations.
Yep.
Having a rig running, and so for us, we've kind of been a fish out of the water since our last well that we drilled in 2019 or 18.
So y'all ready to get back to it?
We're ready to get back to it.
Okay, so if anyone,
we're having fun in the meantime.
So anyone, obviously, everyone out there, connect with Cullen on LinkedIn and kind of filming all that stuff. And we're about to go back to the audience real quick, but let's kind of catch us up. So baby's coming on the way in the new year, huh?
That's right, January 27th.
January 27th. So how's this been for you?
Oh man,
the whole pregnancy process.
It's been fun. I've been very excited. I mean, we've been married for almost 7 years.
Okay.
We're probably the third quarter, maybe the beginning of the fourth quarter, as far as our kids, our friends group having kids.
Oh, so they've all had kids.
They've all had kids.
You're on the tail end.
I have 2 godsons from 2 of my best friends, which is great.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to have my own, and so we were really excited to find out. And we found out it was going to be a girl, so it's a little girl. It's first grandchild for both my parents and my wife's parents.
Wait, is Mark in the mix at all?
Mark is going to be.
Is he still
he's
in the
my
mix?
uncle? So what is he? A great uncle?
But is he going to be in the mix with the daughter, with the baby?
No, so he doesn't deliver babies anymore.
Oh.
But we actually are going through his practice.
Okay.
His practice. So he kind of passed us off. Yeah, I don't know where you draw the line there on the family delivering babies.
I didn't even think about that. That's
question
a great
poll. Let's figure it out.
Where do you let your uncle deliver?
Would you let your uncle deliver your
daughter,
wife's baby?
Your daughter.
My daughter.
Yes, your wife's.
That's
right.
right.
Also going to be your baby too.
That's right.
For the record.
Yeah.
You know what annoyed me about the whole pregnancy process and all that stuff? Every book they have written for guys, they act like guys are the stupidest people. They're like, this is a bottle. It's like, yeah, I know it's a bottle. You know what I mean? I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Right? Have you noticed
right.
that? Are you reading like the daddy books and stuff like that?
I do have a daddy book. I haven't done any of the classes yet. I'm sure I'll have to go through. I heard the CPR is a good one.
That's a good one.
But yeah, I'm sure I have a lot to learn still.
I remember there was all this swaddling. I was big into swaddling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But once you think you got it down back, you practice on these like plastic little dolls and all that stuff. Dude, those baby arms are they're like Thor arms. They get out of every swaddle.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
I don't care.
You
got to get something like duct tape or something like that just to make sure they just stay there through the night.
I hear you. I'll call you whenever I have an issue.
Hey, all you got to do is just love that
on
baby.
FaceTime.
That's it. So that's exciting, though. That's coming around the corner. You have one more Christmas, and then it's going to be
one more Christmas. So Thanksgiving, Christmas. At Christmas, we'll be within 4 weeks, so who knows?
That might be
if she decides to come early, we'll we'll be ready.
That'll help you too. That way you don't have to do a birthday and Christmas. You just kind of combine that with Christmas.
Into one. I do have some friends that do that. They say it's pretty good.
That'll save you about 35% of expenses when it comes to gifts. That's a smart move.
Well, yeah, but then I had one friend that told me no, his wife does that. She has Christmas and birthday, and she wants a big gift every year. So smash them together. It's like a 1 + 1 = 3 in her mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, anyway, so let's kind of. Do you have anything else that's kind of that you're seeing that you've been talking around the water cooler or anything like that you like to get into?
Not really. I just think the theme of my kind of summer and fall is technology, man. It's made my job so much easier, and even people use Zoom. I use GoToMeeting. Like, just think about Zoom.
What's GoToMeeting?
GoToMeeting is another video conference platform.
Why GoToMeeting over Zoom?
I don't know. That's what we used, and it was easy. I don't know.
China
maybe. I learned how to use it.
No, that's exciting though. So where are you learning about all this technology?
Inverus was the first one I learned about. That was we had been using their tools, and they kind of became my premier data sourcing software.
Okay.
But it's kind of word of mouth, honestly. That's where Connection Crüe comes in. LinkedIn, you see these things, but word of mouth. Everybody's going to trust what their friend's using.
Yeah, that's true.
So, or what their friend's using. And if you can sit there and get a third-party sales pitch at a networking event for 5 minutes about the intricacies about how something saved you time, or how software A is better than software B. That's like real feedback.
Yeah.
You're not going to find that just Googling software.
Looking for reviews online. Yeah.
So that's probably the most efficient way to figure out what software's out there.
Just get around people and talking to people.
Yeah. Figure out everybody by now knows somebody who's in that seat at the operating company or at the service company or somewhere who can use that software and give you some advice as far as what do they see to be the best tool that they use, and just become a professional at something, at one of those tools. Figure out which ones you think are going to be around and that are the best, the leaders, and dive into it and really learn it, because it really does matter.
I dig that.
Makes your job easier.
And also be on the lookout for new technology, because technology is obviously constantly evolving and coming out. So not just stick with kind of what's made a big splash in our industry to today, but be on the lookout for other software that's kind of in the works right now. So
that's right.
It's exciting stuff. I guess let's open this up to some people that are just timing in. All right. Whoa, we got a lot of people timing in. All right. Greatest lesson learned from recent Okay, what's the greatest lesson learned from the recent downturn, and what piece of technology has been the greatest asset to y'all's team during that time? Oof, great question, Jordan. What lesson did you learn? Besides Connection Crüe is the premier place to get connection to.
Yeah, I would say CapEx. So during the last downturn, capital expenditures, so everybody had to rein in CapEx and start cutting headcount. And so I think the greatest thing I learned was kind of back to the efficiency thing. Always keep in mind your efficiency of your company and what your output is versus how much it's costing you each month, because a lot of people, I think, could have kept companies together potentially and teams together if they were able to, if they didn't get over their skis on CapEx.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I think, going through 2020 was a forced kind of, everybody was put on pause, forcefully.
Yeah.
So I think that probably was a good thing. A lot of people thought that the turn was going to be really fast, and as y'all saw, it took a year to climb out of that thing.
Well, shoot, I mean, you're even seeing now with $83 oil, you're not seeing rig count.
Really? Yeah, you're not.
I mean, rig count's now
coming up, and I'm hoping now that we've got a good foundation under our feet. But you see the supply chain crunch. I mean, I've heard that pipe prices are up 150% in the last 8 months, as far as casing and tubing, tubulars, and.
Oh, you can't. I've heard. I mean, Lou Bajaski was saying, you just can't find it.
You just can't find it. And so, I would say, just being CapEx conscious was the biggest thing we learned. And CapEx, and then G&A. Just what it costs for you to operate your business. That's something that we really learned. You just got to be very efficient there. And so
what piece of technology has been the greatest asset to y'all's team during that time?
Oh man.
Or even this time, today?
Yeah, I'm going to smash it together and say the portfolio of data sourcing and manipulation and valuation, the combination of all these technologies that are out there, Inverse, Combo Curve, Landgate, that's another really cool one that you guys should check out. You smash all those together, they all have their kind of different uses, but you put them together in a portfolio of tools that I can use as my 1, 2, 3 punch. That makes your life a lot easier. It's made my life a lot easier. It's allowed us to not only keep up our efficiency with a smaller head count, but be more efficient. That's with a smaller head count with a fraction. So everybody just go check out whatever you do. If you're on the service side, I know that there's cool technology out there for you to keep up with people. Go sign up for Connection Crüe so you can meet people. Sign up for golf tournaments.
Just get out there.
I started playing golf in 2017. It was the greatest thing
You just
ever.
started in 2017?
Yeah, and I sucked for a long time.
Oh, I'm still bad at it. I just like going out and having a good time.
But anyway, that type of thing, networking, just all that stuff. Do it all.
Do it all.
So
don't say no. Don't say no. Let's see what else we got. Ashley Tom is saying things are definitely ramping up out here in East Texas now, Northwest Louisiana.
Yeah, there you go. It's a great spot.
Luke A. Cone, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Luke?
There he is. There he is. Go talk to Luke for Combo Curve.
Chris over at Repsol. What's up, Cullen JP? Some of the best dudes out there. What's up? Good morning to you, buddy.
Montan,
good to see you last week.
He's a classmate of mine from Texas A&M.
Really?
Petroleum, Gig'em, Montan.
Oh, nice. I didn't know they all went to school together.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Anything that lowers the risk. Let's talk about it. I dig that. I feel like we're bringing the taco thing back. All right. Dustin Duhan. Man.
Dustin.
I've known that cat for a while, too.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it Eagle?
Eagle Tubulars.
That's right. Eagle Tubulars.
He's got some of the best pipe out there right now to go clean out wells. Some of the only pipe available. So go check out Eagle Tubulars and Dustin Duhan.
Then we have Dwayne over at Black Gold Rental Tools sending a shout out from Manville, Texas. A&D's exciting stuff. What's going on, Dwayne? For those that know, go check out Black Gold Rental Tools. I've been kind of helping them out with their content stuff. So go give them a follow over on LinkedIn. That's a little plug for those cats over there. Oh, okay. Chris is kind of chiming in with a question. How do these big deals like Pioneer and Southwestern affect your business, Cullen?
Oh, they do affect my business. So basically, the Pioneer, a lot of these West Texas deals, like I said, we're kind of staying out of that. But what they're doing is they're running up the price. Yeah. So what happened is, if you guys remember the Ventive deal, I'm going to go back to the Eagleford. So kind of take Pioneer and let's go back a couple months and talk about Ventive, because I'm a little, that's more in our Eagleford sweet spot. Okay. That deal just was a cannonball in the A&D space as far as price. So everybody's trying to get a deal in the Eagleford, and then here's Ventive, and they sell for this huge multiple, and all of a sudden, the Eagleford zip code overnight, we couldn't pay enough to acquire anything. Okay. So those types of deals definitely run the price up. I would say those are huge multi-billion-dollar deals. So we're kind of looking at the scraps. So what I would say, Montan, is we would look at a deal like that and wait maybe 6-8 months until those companies are ready to divest the non-core of those acquisitions.
Once they figure out what they have, what they're working with.
Hey, they're going to go through naturally and high grade their assets, and then we're going to come in later maybe and go peel off a $150 million deal from a $2 to $5 billion deal.
Okay.
So that's where I think we could potentially fit in. Otherwise, what they're doing is just setting the acreage price
way high.
Yeah, and the flowing multiples, things like that. So
great question, Chris. Thanks for
apples and oranges, but does open up something for us.
Still
later.
Fruit. It's still fruit. When's your next social? For anyone curious about a crew club or anything like that, you can go to the www.Connection Crüe. It's like Motley Crue, CRUE.com, or check it out on LinkedIn. And we can always sidebar about kind of the details behind the expansion and also membership. So, all right. Larry Sims, always been a great group of guys over at Tri-C. That's the truth.
Larry's awesome.
That is the truth.
Yeah, Larry. Known Larry a long time.
All right. Jose Slams, JP, let's go golf. I'm always down, man. It's perfect weather for that now. We should go golfing with him as well. So,
we should.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments they'd like to ask Cullen or myself? Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Again, the same thing happened last week. But if anyone was any last questions that they comments they'd like to ask Colin or myself, feel free to here. But if there's any questions about sponsorships for breakfast runs, you can always reach out to me for more information about that. And make sure you check out Energy Crew podcast as well. We got it's been going on for like 3.5 months. There's already 32 episodes out, dude.
Wow,
I've been cranking
awesome.
them out.
Go.
So
you got a good following here.
Obviously, this Thursday is AAD Fin for a Feather, going to that.
That's right.
And then December 3rd is the Social Octane Great Oil and Gatsby party. I'll be attending that as well.
All right.
Then there's Casino Night coming up.
There you go, man.
Are you going to any of the? Oh, you're about to have the
3
baby.
in a row. Yeah, we got baby coming.
You're not making Casino Night.
We got to shut it down.
You got to shut it down. That's fine though.
Yeah.
But it's coming back. It's coming back. So, anything else out there, Cole? I want to thank you for your time, man.
You got it.
Are we doing this? We'll do a handshake. We'll do that.
Yeah, we got
But
this.
man, I really appreciate you coming on, man. It's always good catching up with you.
You got it.
And if anyone out there knows any sweet little deals that that no one's really talking about, reach out to Colin and say hello and introduce yourself. So
yeah, let us know.
I'm looking forward to y'all's make that whatever purchase y'all do, just getting after it, man.
Yeah, get a rig back to work. That's the end goal.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about in energy. So anyone, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to this morning's breakfast run, and I guess we'll be talking to you soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.
See you guys.